Hi, my name is Brad with Bishop's Orchards. I'm the farm manager. I wanted to do a little pruning demo for my CSA members today. I get a lot of requests for the proper way to prune peach trees. Normally we prune peach trees twice a year. In the summertime we'll go through and just cut the suckers out just to let some sun in. The fruit needs sun to get color on it. When the trees are younger, this is a tree that's going into its 5th year, so it's called 5th leaf. And trees at this age, we prune to what's called an open center. So, which means the trees are open in the center of the tree, and we try and get them to grow out as much as possible and limit what goes inside the tree. They'll help fill the space quickly. So through this year, we'll prune everything going out. So these limbs here, they're coming out properly. We'll prune these out. These ones that are not, those are just suckers from last year or 2 years ago. We'll take these out because they're going the wrong direction, something like this, going the wrong direction. A year from now, I will allow those to be. This year, I will not. These were not summer pruned last year, so there's a lot of suckers in these trees like this, which is just basically a 1-year-old sucker. This one, this one, this one. There's a lot of them on this tree, these here. Some of these trees put out 6-7 foot of growth on these trees last year because they didn't have a crop. They didn't have a crop because of the previous winter's freeze. And then once I get all the big stuff cut out of the tree, I'll come back. These have a lot of blossoms on them. This branch here can probably only support maybe 2 peaches. You won't figure about 6 inches apart. So there might be a peach here and peach here. All the rest of these are excess blossoms. And again, figure like a 3-inch peach, what it looks like. These branches are too close. So normally we'll come through in the summertime and hand thin all the extra peaches off. But what I can do right now is I can go through and I can cut alternate branches, which saves them a lot of time. It's very easy for me just to skin them because the visibility is so good right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, cut all the big suckers out, then we'll have a look at the tree, and then I'll go through with my hand shears and do the small work. And you want to make sure you're always getting these as close as possible here, because otherwise you'll continue to get suckers that'll grow into it. This is an interesting limb here. When you prune the peach trees, you always want to prune in the direction the limb is headed. This one is a limb that's actually going the wrong direction. That limb, the main limb, is going in that direction. This one's coming this way. I honestly haven't decided whether I'm going to keep that or not. So I'm going to come back to that. And I'll take off at least 50% of the wood every year. And we try and keep peaches as low as possible, as long as possible, because we want to pick everything from the ground. And peaches will always have basically a 3-foot area they produce in. So whether that's down here or up high, basically anything below that is going to get shaded out. Normally we'd prune peaches earlier. Well, all the peaches are done except for these rows, which I was supposed to be doing, but I'm a little behind schedule on these. Normally before they start growing, we'll have it all done. This one here, this is an example of something that, you know, it's gonna seem like a big cut, but these two are too close together and you want the tree to spread, so it's gonna seem like a big cut. We're gonna take that right out of there and then cut that back. And I'll have to thin a lot of the inside limbs out because again, it needs sunlight, it needs to grow. The thing when you're pruning, you don't really want to look at fruit because you want the tree to be shaped. Because in this particular case, he's going to have plenty of fruit on them. Last year they grew so much because they didn't have any fruit. I think I've decided to leave this limb. There's nothing else really on this side of the tree. So even though I don't like it, I'm leaving it. And sometimes I don't like it and it's not a bad limb and I still take it. Just because I don't like it. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with, that's what it looks like without the big ones, and it's obviously quite a bit different. Now I'm just going to take out the small wood that's not needed. Again, I'm going to thin some of these off. That's going to make it easier for our guys going forward to thin these trees. We will use small hand pruners on trees until they're probably 5 or 6 years old. After that, almost everything is lopper work. And again, I'll skin out just about everything that's in the inside. I don't really want anything in here. Unless I need to establish a new limb, or the tree's a little bit older where I want to keep it going. A lot of dead stuff. You want to make sure all the dead stuff gets cut out. Might be you don't know why it died, whether it was a situation with disease or it was shaded out, but you want to make sure that you get all that stuff out of there. This part takes a little while. You got to make sure you get everything off of there. Again, make sure the cuts are as clean as possible. See that? I took a lot off of this limb, but you can see how much fruit is still on here. Something like this is only going to support a couple of peaches on each one of those limbs. There's a lot of peaches here. I'll cut that back and hopefully get 2 peaches out of that. A little bit of dead wood there. And I will say that I can do this tree, walk away and come back and still see things I should have cut. The hardest thing sometimes when you prune is turning and walking away, because there's always something you probably could have done a little differently. When you're pruning, there's no right or wrong cut sometimes. You're trying to go with a concept, and sometimes any one of 2 or 3 limbs will be perfectly fine. You just have to take something. This one's kind of a, one of the ones. I'm just going to take it. I don't like it. I do want to point this out. This is a peach tree borer pheromone disruptor. This is something we use for our IPM program. Peach tree borers usually affect the trunk of the tree and can kill the tree. These are mating disruptors, so what they'll do is they'll prevent the males from finding, they'll think there's females everywhere and just get so confused they can't actually mate. Sometimes you just need to shorten some of these limbs up a little bit. It's a little more time consuming to take some of these off, but it'll definitely save us time in the long run. No, this is just a lot of. Definitely looks like I took a lot of wood out. There's a very good crop on this tree. Certainly for a 50-year tree, we don't want to really overcrop it. But there's a lot of peaches here. We'll thin them out. Usually in probably June at some point, we'll thin these peaches out. But that's basically what it should look like. Nice big open center. Next year we'll start training a little more to go inside, like this one right here I left. But I think we can leave more of those as go in, and it kind of fills the center and